Hey all, good morning and welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here, friends. We are back in business. My portfolio is also starting to looking better after the initial debacle. I'll share that in a separate video later on. I have a lot of ideas that I want to share with you, so I expect a bunch of videos in the next 2 days. Today, the indices are looking absolutely fabulous. Without hesitation, I can think that today the markets are going to go up. We can't do anything wrong. Let's start off with the very first one, which is NASDAQ futures after the disclaimer. Welcome back, friends. We are looking at the NASDAQ futures, and as you can see, our next resistance is going to be at 22,079.75, and we are marching towards it. Pre-market, we are already up 0.82%. It's around 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:10 a.m. in the morning. I think throughout the day, we'll be seeing a lot of bullishness. Everything is looking good. The dollar index has been falling, which is also another big reason why we are seeing a lot of positives out here, in my opinion. But the resistance out there, which was very strong just back on the 17th of January 2025, has now changed. It has been broken down into two parts. And the first one is the horizontal resistance, which we will clear, and a day or two after that we'll have to clear the diagonal resistance of the previous bull channel. So that's what I'm looking at out here. We're looking fabulous. If we go to the 10-year yields, we can see that the 10-year yields have been on a way down. There has been a little bit of a jump out here today in the pre-market trade. We are up 0.24%, but we were much higher earlier. It has come down. So I'm hoping that we'll touch this line of support before bouncing back up, and that's the basis on which I'm saying that right now we are bullish, and probably in February we might see a little bit of giving back of the markets. Now let's go on to the indices. Let's see what's there in the indices. Dow Jones is super bullish. MACD is absolutely bullish, and we have plenty of room on the RSI. Momentum is really super fast, and we have 1.24% gain pre-market. Our next resistance is going to be today at around 44,195, and if we break through that, which is this diagonal red line, will be super strong going forward. Let us look at S&P 500, which also has broken through the resistance from the earlier wedge, and our next resistance today is going to be somewhere around 6,089.22 or 6,096, something in that range, just shy of 6,100. And it's looking perfectly well aligned for a bump because we are up 0.88% in the pre-market trades out here. MACD is bullish. Momentum also has a lot of strength, and RSI is way off there. And we have IWM, which is going really hammers and tongs, I would say. It's gone up significantly. Pre-market today, it's down 0.04%, but MACD is looking bullish. Momentum is also looking phenomenal. And I think that as the yields fall, the regional banks become stronger because the balance sheet becomes much stronger due to the bonds that they hold. And today, pre-market, you had seen that the yields had gone up a little bit, and I think that is reflected out here in this minor drop in the pre-market sessions. But as long as the yields keep going down, I think IWM will do very well. Now let's look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ is up 0.58%. It's gone above this diagonal line of resistance, and it's the second consecutive day of upward movement. Pre-market, it's up 0.58%. MACD has just about turned bullish, and momentum is above average and picking up. Plenty of room on the RSI. So NASDAQ is going up, but it's not going as steeply. But I think that's about to change. I'll talk about that in a separate video. The AI play, the Stargate, Oracle, MongoDB, and others. It's going to be a separate video for our AI folks. PCC is looking bullish. It's in the 70s range, so I'm happy about that. VIX is going down. It's down 1.13% in pre-market trades. So it's like calm oceans. And if you look at the MACD and the momentum out here, it seems to indicate a little bit of tranquility going forward. So with all that said, if you look at gold, Gold has been picking up steadily. It's up 0.37% this morning. So this bullish pennant has given us a breakout, and we are above the 200-day exponential moving average. MACD is bullish. Momentum is also looking pretty good. There is a little bit more room on the RSI, so gold could go up a little bit more further. And I'm looking at the market breadth. If you look at companies which are above that 200-day exponential moving average. I think this has improved. You can see the amount of improvement we have had since the 14th of January. So this is very good news. We are at 60% out there. If you look at the number of companies in the S&P 500 which are above their 50-day average, you can see since 13th of January we have had a big jump, and we are almost about to go above the 200-day exponential moving average. We are at 50.89% out here. That's a huge jump in breadth. And if you look at the number of companies in the S&P 500 which are above that 20-day average, and that happens to be at around 80.31%, coming close to a resistance. MACD is bullish, momentum is almost like overshot. So I think everything is looking good out here. So I would say that today is going to be fantastic. Well, let's start the AI segment by looking at Google first. Google is looking pretty good at this point of time. And as you can see, we have broken out of the diagonal line of resistance we had on the top of the bull flag. So I'm going to convert this into green, and then let us take a stock of where we are today pre-market. Pre-market, we are down 0.04%. That doesn't look that great, but MACD is on the mend. Momentum is also higher. So we'll see what happens. I think the Project Stargate thing is going to make a little bit of shuffle around here. Oracle might be a big gainer in the process. So we'll have to also look at Oracle. Now, if I was to go to Tesla is down 1.27%. It is still trying to stay above this support of 418.87. Apple is looking good. It has been able to get support from the 200-day exponential moving average. So that's where the goodness ends. The scary part now is that we are at the very oversold section, and we could go down further based on the past. You see this green line out here which shows 29.70. We could go all the way down there on the RSI chart. And MACD is also bearish. We'll have to see if Apple is able to stay above. Right now it is still above this 200-day exponential moving average, but once it goes below that, I think we are done for the day. Next, let's look at Meta. Meta is up 1.19%, still riding this bull channel. MACD has mended, momentum is above average, plenty of room on the RSI. We also have earnings coming on the 29th of January. So overall, it's looking absolutely fabulous out here. Amazon is up 0.72%. MACD is repairing itself. Today it may cross over to the bullish side. Momentum is very healthy, and we have got plenty of room on the RSI. Plus 30th of January will see us getting the earnings release. We are above this bull flag. We have converted the resistance of the bull flag into a support, and our next resistance is going to be 233.14. and looking at the strength of the pre-market action, I think today we are going to challenge this and potentially convert it into a support. That's what I'm looking forward to. Microsoft is up 1.29%. It's still above this line of support at 425.30. So that gives me a little bit of positiveness out here. And today the opening is also going to be pretty strong. So I'm looking forward to a good market action out here. Next, we are looking at NVIDIA, which is up 3.07%. Friends, I think NVIDIA is going to start the next rally right now, because the Stargate project, to me, along with the strong returns from TSMC in their earnings release just a week ago, seems to indicate that the infrastructure section is going to be really good. I'm working on a diagram which shows how I visualize the AI stack. It's going to be a separate video, and I'm going to talk about which are the companies that will start gaining and how we can catch this upswing very early. So there's going to be a lot of ideas that I'll share with you, and I want you guys also to comment on these videos so that I can get your feedback and improve on my theories. Okay, that said, NVIDIA is going to start the next run. I can see that the MACD is already mended, momentum is above average. Get ready for takeoff. Qualcomm is up 0.64%, looking very good out here, and I could see a reverse head and shoulder pattern if I wanted to. But even if I look at the bullish channel that has been created with higher highs and higher lows, this is looking very good. Next, we go on to AMD. AMD is the dark horse out here. AMD might potentially gain a little bit because the new projects that are being announced and the slow drip of positive information about building up AI capex is going to help AMD in the long run. I think we have broken through this diagonal line of resistance, which is the first positive sign. And today, pre-market, we are up 1.23%. I'll be very happy if we break these two lines of resistance, and then I will declare that AMD is out of the woods. Right now, it's on the mend. Momentum still has to improve. FNGU is up $36.97. That's a cool 5.96%. This is putting my portfolio back into profits, my friends. I'll have a portfolio video again at the end of the week to show you where we have reached. We'll compare it with where we started off. So this is going to be looking very good for me today. And Broadcom is up 2.20%. There is a huge bull flag out here. I think we're going to break out further. Our next resistance is somewhere out here. I would say it's going to be at 249.45, and right now pre-market we are at 245, so this is our next target. If we break through that, that will become a support and will grow up further. MACD is still on the mend, but momentum is looking pretty strong. Oracle is up 8.54%, my friends. It's up $14.73. This is really phenomenal, and it's all thanks to the Stargate announcement, and I'll talk about that in a separate video. Palantir is up 1.92% pre-market. Again, if somebody wanted to get into the Palantir bandwagon, this would be the opportunity. We are seeing the MACD getting mended, and momentum is just above average. Things are going to look good. We have got earnings coming up on 3rd of February 2025, so this could be the hesitation before the earnings. I think that's my personal opinion. Of course, you have to make your own due diligence before you buy into it. Micron is doing well with 0.64. Of course, Micron is supplying to Nvidia. Micron has got a lot of wind beneath the sails, and MACD is super bullish. Momentum is also very strong. Plenty of room on the RSI. Our next resistance is 113.30. So I'll say from now to 113.30, we have got clean sailing. And then let's look at Cloudflare, which is up 1.49%. Everything is looking good for Cloudflare to go further up, and we have already gapped up today this morning when we open. AMAT is up 1.19%. Again, super bullish out here, almost overbought. And we have Adobe, which is starting to improve. It had a huge fall for a long period of time, but now it is starting to come out. Could be a dead cat bounce or could be coming back for good. We have to see if there are any news items out here. We'll have to watch out for some fundamental news items which can justify continued upward movement, but it's in a bear channel because the 200-day exponential is above. Next, let us look at SMCI, which is consolidating a lot, and I think today SMCI should probably have a little bit of a breakout. The most important thing for SMCI is to come out of the cloud of its financials. So we'll have to look at that area for SMCI, and then if it comes out clean, this could be a big multi-bagger for anybody. The price is also low and the growth potential is pretty high, but the financial cloud has to be lifted. Next, let us look at ARM. ARM is doing extremely well. MACD is bullish. Momentum is absolutely fabulous. Plenty of room on the RSI. I would say that the next resistance that we are going to face should be somewhere around 161.93. Today we are at 164.82. So we already broken through that resistance. We are looking pretty strong. Let us see what is the next resistance that we could have. The next resistance can be somewhere around 174.38. This is going to be the next resistance, and we should potentially come closer to it by the end of the day today. ASML is doing extremely well. In pre-market session, it's up 2.69%. MACD is bullish. Momentum is also picking up, and we are attempting to cross the 200-day exponential moving average. If we cross that, then I would say that we are going to be in a bullish market environment. We are very close to meeting our cup and handle target of 795.52 that we set up earlier. Everything is looking good for ASML. Intel is also doing pretty well. It's up 0.78% in the pre-market trades. MACD is bullish. Momentum is also above average. We got earnings coming out on 30th of January 2025. Probably we'll hear something from them. There is a gap up out here. I don't like gap ups because it shows irrational price behavior. So this gap up could act as a magnet to be filled up, and that's the thing that I'm worrying about with Intel. Then we have SMH, which is the semiconductor ETF. It is doing fantastic. All the consolidation has now paid off, and our next resistance, I would say a minor resistance, is going to be somewhere around 263.69, and we have broken above it because in pre-market session we are at 266.50. So all systems are a go, and we are aiming to fill up this gap down. So this gap down is going to act as a magnet, and we could go all the way up to 272.60 today. That's my opinion. AVAV, which is in the defense sector, it creates drones, etc. I think it's going to do extremely well. It's up 0.13% in pre-market trades. MACD is bullish. Momentum is also high. Plenty of room on the RSI, and we across the 200-day exponential moving average. We have to do this gap fill. If we do the gap fill, we have an upside all the way to $193 approximately. Right now we are at $177, so a $20 upside. Again, friends, these are all my personal opinion, not financial advice, so check it out. yourself and then decide what you want to do with that information. Then we have Snowflake, which is up around 1.49% in pre-market trades. MACD has turned bullish. Momentum is also above average, coming very close to overbought, but I think there is plenty of potential still left in Snowflake. Hanesbrand International, which I picked up because of the tariff play, has been consolidating for a long while. I have a target, cup and handle target for it of around 11.25, which means an upside of around $3 out here from this point onwards. And it is still working its way through. The MACD is converting itself to be bullish. Momentum is just above average. It's up 0.48% in the pre-market trades, but I'm expecting that it's going to consolidate and pick up because this cup and handle target has been formed over a long period of time. So the achievement of that target will also take time. Netflix did gangbusters. It went up 15.21% in pre-market trade following blockbuster earnings. But friends, I think this is going to be short-lived because they are increasing the subscription fees and they are putting all kind of restrictions. This is starting to look more or less like the cable that we have all cut the cord from and gone into streaming platforms. Streaming platforms is having a lot of competition. We got Amazon, which has also introduced advertisements. We got the others like Disney and HBO and all those other streaming services which are also vying for market share. So I don't think this is going to last very long. I think Netflix has become greedy again. We'll have to watch out for a pullback. There's a huge gap up in the morning when we open up. That's going to help FNGU to go up. So I'll take the opportunity to take some profits on FNGU and wait on the sidelines because the super influence of Netflix is going to bring it down when Netflix comes down. Next, we have got Dell, which again is part of the AI stack, as I call it. It's up 4.09% thanks to the Stargate project. And I think the MACD is on the mend. Momentum has to pick up a little bit more. There's a good opportunity to pick up Dell on the cheap and ride it the way up. Accenture is again a part of the stack of AI that I'm looking at. It's down 0.02% in the pre-market trade, but MACD is bullish. Momentum is above average. This is going to pick up. I have a cup and handle target for it formed over a long period of time, and that's at 448.08. So plenty of upside for Accenture. Then I'm looking at Rigetti. Rigetti is up 0.78 cents in the pre-market trade. That's about 5.58%. Again, my holdings on Rigetti is turning a little bit comfortable. It's still bullish. It's above the 200-day exponential moving average. MACD is on the meld. Momentum is above average. I'm looking for some good things from Rigetti today. It's got a resistance at around 18.42. If it goes above that, then I think it will be in a super bullish channel. So that's what I have there. SMR is the last one I want to look at. It's the nuclear power side of the AI stack, and it's got a reverse head and shoulder target, which places itself at around 32.30. A lot of upside from here, at least $8. Pre-market, it's down 0.16%, but MACD is bullish. Momentum is above average. Plenty of room on the RSI. I think I'm bullish on SMR as well. So friends, that brings me to an end of this session on AI, and I'm going to come up with a separate video. Please watch out for that, in which I'm going to draw the AI stack. I'm going to talk about the progression in which various companies in the AI stack will be going up. And those are my theories. I want to get your feedback. I want entire community involvement in this. We have got to do some brainstorming so that we can position ourselves properly for the upcoming boom. We don't have much time. We're already ready for the takeoff. We're at the end of the runway, just ready to take off. So watch out for that video, my friends. And I'll catch up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.